Everyone, I'm Brent with VenomTech doing another bridge saw blades for dummies video 19, and I'm going to go over what I call the 12, 14, 16, 18 rule. This is the rule that taught me how to cut everything on every saw. So basically, most saws that are fixed RPMs are usually 1,750 RPMs. So the 12, 14, 16, 18 rule is this. If you're at 1,750 fixed RPMs, and usually with a saw that has decent horsepower, at that RPMs, an 18-inch marble blade is going to perform the best. For granite, a 16-inch blade is going to perform the best. For quartzite, a 14-inch blade is going to perform the best. For porcelain, Decton, all that stuff, a 12-inch. Remember, it's a rule of thumb to go off of. You can tweak it up or down. So here's how it works. At 1,750 RPMs, an 18-inch marble blade is going to perform better than a 16-inch. Done. At 1,750 RPMs, a 16-inch granite blade is going to perform better than an 18-inch granite blade at that RPMs. Done. At 1,750 RPMs, a 14-inch quartzite blade is going to perform better on quartzite than a 16-inch quartzite at that RPMs. Done. At 1,750 RPMs, a 12-inch porcelain or Decton blade is going to perform better than the 14-inch. So with that methodology, you could take that to the bank. And from there, you know, there's always exceptions to the rules. So then what happened is, we got saws now that can control RPMs. So now you can fix your own RPM. So guys now are like, oh, they can control it. Plus there's amps. And I'm going to explain that at the end of the video, or one of the final ones, cutting by amps. Cutting by amps is kind of like an American thing that took off on the 5-axis saws when they got really popular here. And with that, that's the formula for the 12, 14, 16, 18 rule. Now, another thing is engineered stone. What people call quartz is man-made engineered stone. Now, here's the thing about quartz, engineered quartz. At times, it's really like a marble, and at other times, it's like a granite with just more quartz in it. So this is why when it comes to cutting engineered quartz, not quartzite, pretty much you can have blades from 14 to 18-inch work, no problem on that material, because it's a real wide range of material. Like some of that engineered stone cuts more like a marble. So an 18-inch blade diameter kind of can perform just as good as a 16. And then it crosses over to getting harder, so the smaller diameters. And that's what I found. Quartz has never been a big problem once you know what kind of quartz you're cutting. So that's the first rule of thumb at 1,750 RPMs. 12, 14, 16, 18. Remember that. The other thing is this. If you want to kind of stay more to at 1,750 RPMs at a fixed saw, kind of like a blade that could cut everything in a 16-inch, I always recommend quartzite blades. Here's why I push quartzite blades. Quartzite blades, like for instance, at VenomTech, we have actually some really low price quartzite blades. They're not expensive. So if you can get a quartzite blade that's not expensive, they're way more easy to use in cutting granite, quartzite. You can pretty much learn how to cut better with an easy cutting blade than some of the harder cutting blades. So that's the other thing is, if at fixed RPMs, start just buying on VenomTech my lower price quartzite blades like this. I have like 5 types of them with different styles and different segment heights. I'm going to tell you, you'll learn how to cut way better using quartzite, and they're way more forgiving than a granite blade or a quartz blade, because a quartzite blade is going to perform quicker, wear out faster. But if the price isn't that much, you know, then eventually, if you realize like I'm just cutting quartz all the time, then you can kind of go to the bigger 25 millimeter quartz segments. But I even have 25 millimeter in the quartzite segments. They'll wear out faster than a 25 millimeter quartz granite segment, but they'll cut quicker. And like I said, if you're doing miters, save the miter blades that are 15 millimeter for the miters. But I'm a big fan of, now that quartzite blades are not as high as they were in the beginning, really start introducing your quartzite blades on your fixed RPMs. So I hope this video was useful on the 12, 14, 16, 18 rule.